Hey, my name's John. I am a 37-year-old healthy male, I think, living in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I am about to do the ProLon 5-day fasting mimicking diet. So I'm recording a quick video journal to track what happens and provide hopefully some useful feedback to anybody else that's curious about fasting mimicking. So I stumbled across this a few weeks ago. I'm very into my health and wellness. I worked as a personal trainer for a number of years, and even though I don't do that anymore, I'm still very interested in what's going on at the cutting edge of that industry, and ProLon kind of appeared on the radar a few weeks ago. So I've done 1, 2, and 3 day fasts before, going with the route of not eating anything, just drinking water, and supplementing with salt. So very traditional type of fasting. Honestly, the 3 days are miserable, kind of feel good afterwards, but not a nice process. So I found out about the fasting mimicking diet, which is a 5-day plan, and it does include small amounts of food so that you are getting the benefits of fasting, such as autophagy and stem cell rejuvenation, I think. But please don't quote me on that because the terminology is very important. But you get all of that without actually having to literally starve yourself for 5 days, which, having done 3 days with zero food, I cannot imagine doing 5. So I'm excited to try this. Really, this intro is just to tell you about myself, so kind of a before and after. I currently weigh 156 pounds at last check-in. I will probably head down to the gym this morning and do a quick weigh-in, as this is day 1. But I think it's 156 pounds. I normally have fairly low body fat. It's around 11, maybe 12%. I don't have it measured regularly, but I just know from looking at it and from years of experience. Currently, I'd say it's probably closer to 15, 16 because I've had a naughty few weeks. I'm not going to lie. I have not been on top of my game recently, so this is hopefully going to be a turning point now to go into the fast, which I feel like I've set myself up for failure because my stomach is bigger now than it usually is, but hopefully because of the inclusion of food, I'm not going to experience as many hunger pangs, and I should be able to get through the 5 days. So 156 pounds, about 15% body fat. I'm not really doing this predominantly for weight loss, to be honest, because my stats are already fine. I'm in good shape. But I do like the idea of dropping a couple of pounds over the next 5 days, and I love the idea of actually cleansing my body and rejuvenating some cells, which is the number one reason I'm doing this. So I'm going to dive into the unboxing video now. Okay, so we have ProLon 5-day meal program, and it actually just comes in this really easy to open magnetic strip kind of box, which I like. So we're gonna pop that open. Rejuvenation from within, look at that. And we have 5 days worth of food, I'm assuming, box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some other stuff. So let's have a look what we have. What is this? Okay, there's like a meal plan. Okay, general information, I'm not going to read that now, but that's cool. We have, okay, the actual meal plan. And some, okay, so some tips and tricks to follow on the meal plan, that's awesome. Let's have a quick look at this. Okay, so we have tea, algal oil, I don't know how to say that word. Tomato soup, olives, crab, wow, that's quite a lot. Okay. I've watched the unboxing video online, so I knew there was a fair amount of food, but this looks like actually more than I was expecting. Okay, well that's great. Okay, so nutritional content for all of the individual food items, that's awesome. And then yeah, the 5 days, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to show you the products as I go through each of the days. I'm not going to unpack everything right now. We have, what is this? Sports bottle down here. So I'm guessing that's going to be for this. Yeah, okay, so that's for the L drink. You pour that into the bottle depending on your weight, and then dilute it. Okay, awesome. And then after the 5 days, you have this really cool ProLon drinks bottle to use. So smart, good choice. So that's what you get when you order ProLon, and I'm sure we can open up any of these boxes to have a quick look inside, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna have the L drink, and then you'd have sachets of stuff, which we're not gonna dive into because, as I said, you're gonna see all of this as I'm eating it every day. Yeah, so breakfast right now, I'm gonna have some tea, which is spearmint lemon. I'm gonna have the L bar and 2 of these oil capsules. So 2 of those, the bar and the tea, which I'm very much looking forward to. And then a little later in the day, it will be time for, I guess, tomato soup, olives, and crackers, and the NR1 supplement. So, looking forward to diving into this.
Okay, so we're gonna try the nut bar. Looks pretty good. Smells pretty good. That's actually really good. I would quite happily share this with anybody else in the office, but there's not enough food to share, so I'm not going to do that, but this is really good. Okay, time for lunch. I am not going to film every single meal, but this is lunch, and you know, it kind of feels substantial. We have tomato soup, which I just did in the microwave. Actually, it's stirred in really easily, so I'm kind of worried when it comes to soup and stirring things in because it goes lumpy and it doesn't heat up properly, but this was actually very easy, dissolved in water. 1 cup of water, microwaved it for 2 minutes. This evening I'll do it on the stove, but at work I do not have that luxury. So yeah, and then I have the NR1, which is the supplement, kale crackers, which I'm very much looking forward to, and the olives, also looking forward to them. So I'm going to dive in. I'll probably shoot some footage of trying each one. So yeah, check in soon. So as it turns out, the kale crackers come in this wonderfully cute little package here. I don't know why I found that interesting, but I did. Alright, let's give this a try. I'm not going to film myself eating because that's gross. So instead you can just hear me crunching. Wow. That's really good. And one more thing I want to show you. Look at this. I was expecting maybe 3 olives in here. That's a lot more than 3. I'm not sure if we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7 if there's one hiding. But certainly more than I was expecting. So let's just give it a try. Well, that's a pretty damn good olive. So there it is, and yeah, so far really enjoying this. The taste is good. It's full of flavor, more than I was expecting. Actually, I was not expecting that, and it does feel quite plentiful right now. I mean, it's day 1, so I'm not sure what will happen for the other 4 days, but so far certainly not feeling hungry, not feeling anything different to usual actually, and actually enjoying some different foods. I eat the same stuff every day normally, so it's kind of nice to break away from that and eat some new things that you wouldn't normally put together. I mean, kale crackers, come on, who eats that? I will from now on, is the answer to that. So I'll check in again. Probably not going to do every meal like this, that would be boring, but for now, very happy. Alright, it's dinner time. So yeah, got the hibiscus tea on the go, which is delicious. And this is the soup. I'm trying to film in selfie mode so I can also show myself. And yeah, the bar here, which is gonna come next. But I'm gonna try the soup. I haven't had this particular one. Yeah, it's good. I like it. Has a lot of flavor. I like the quinoa, gives it that texture. And it's quite thick as well, which you're kind of hoping for. You know, it gives you that kind of padding, if you know what I mean. Pads the stomach, makes you feel full. Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely get on board with this. Alright, so it's time for day 3. A couple of hunger pangs this morning, but really nothing out of the ordinary considering the low amount of food I've consumed for the last 2 days. I'm comparing this to when I've done a 3-day fast before with 0 food. Day 3 is unbearable. By this point, I'm waking up and I have a headache. I'm normally feeling very weak in the legs. I don't know if anybody else that does 3-day fasts gets that feeling, but I certainly do. None of that, just a kind of a mild hunger that you would probably consider typical of waking up in the morning. I haven't had breakfast yet, by the way. It's 9:30. I intend to have breakfast at around 10, so I'm sure that's going to cure some of the hunger problems I'm having right now. Other than that, feeling good. Energy levels are still good. I typically wake up around 6 to start work and then head to the office at 10. So I've just cranked out 3 hours of work. Brain feels good, cognitively I feel good. So yeah, no complaints still. I'm sure that nut bar is going to be delicious because I'm actually kind of hungry right now. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. Really interesting to look at how this goes compared to day 3 of a zero food fast. And then we have 4 and 5, which is new territory for me. So looking forward to that too. All right, I'll check in soon. So made it through day 3, actually another fairly easy one. Compared to the end of day 3 on what I'm referring to as a full fast, although that's kind of misleading because I know this is doing the same thing to my body, but a full fast being zero food. Compared to that, this feels incredible. I actually wanted to get this behind me on camera, so this is my final tea for the day, one of the hibiscus teas. But I'm also studying, so I did my usual day. I woke up at 6, I started to work from home. I went to the office at 10, I worked all day there, and now I have come home, I've done dinner. I didn't film that because it was just another soup. But now, you see, I have my hobbies. I make music, and I study. I'm currently reading a book on neuroscience, and my point is I'm able to do all of this way into the evening. It's now just gone 9 o'clock, so I've been awake a long time, working pretty much constantly. So it's been a typical day, and that's amazing because I'm almost eating nothing, but somehow it's enough to keep me going. So it's a very strange feeling. I'm not quite sure how it's working, but it is working. That's the point. I'm able to remain cognitively optimized in my lingo up until 9 o'clock. I'm about to shut down and enjoy the tea and some downtime, but yeah, it's definitely going well. Looking forward to the next 2 days. I can't see it being a problem unless I suddenly wake up tomorrow feeling terrible, but I don't think that will happen. So all good so far. Okay, so morning of day 4. Still feeling fresh. Woke up at 6 as usual. Slept really well last night. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but on a zero food fast, it does interrupt my sleep. I believe it has something to do with carbohydrates and the way that that impacts cortisol levels, i.e. they remain elevated, so it's more difficult to get to sleep. None of that this time around. Got a solid 7 hours last night, which is kind of my go-to. 7, sometimes 6 if I'm honest. But last night was good, feeling good this morning, and I'm about to make the El Nutra drink, which I realized is a little bit more involved than cooking the soup or eating the bars and olives. So I'm gonna get that on camera because it kind of confused me the first time I read what to do. By day 4, obviously it's second nature now, but I wanna make sure I film myself doing that. Anyone that gets that drink, it's gonna be kind of strange how you do it, but there's a lot of science behind what's in the drink and how that works. So I'm gonna get some of that on camera right now.
So the way that we do this is there is a scale on the back here, and you empty the liquid into the ProLon bottle until what's left in the bottle here represents your weight. So as I said at the beginning of this, I was around 156 pounds, I think I said. So I'm going to pour it down to about between this line here and the 160, which is going to be interesting trying to do that. I did already open this bottle, by the way, just so I could then undo it again one-handed. So let's just try and get this right. This is kind of difficult to do whilst filming. Oh, nailed it, 160. So that's actually a little bit too much, but okay. That is fine. And we will discard The rest of this bottle here, I'll just tip that down the sink in a moment. And then with the ProLon bottle, just fill the rest with water, which I'm probably not going to be able to do in these circumstances. Okay, let's do this. Yay! Alright, just about to start day 5, and rather than filming my face this time around, I'm filming the box. I just wanted to do like an unpacking thing. I said I would do one at some point this week. So this is what it looks like inside. If I can do this one-handed. Sorry for the shaky camera work. So everything is very nicely packaged inside, and today we have the drink again, which you saw me making yesterday. We also have, what do we have today? Well, let's lay it all out fully. So we have the NR1, which is the supplement, and we have the algal oil. I still don't know how to say that word. We have one of the soups, which is going to be for lunch, and another soup which is for dinner. We have the, oops, I'm sorry, kale crackers, which I believe today is for lunch along with the soup. We do have the nut bar, which is breakfast, and then I think we just have the teas. Yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 teas. My personal favorite is the spearmint lemon, but they are all very tasty. And that's everything. So that's how it looks when it's all spread out. It's super convenient. Everything is very transportable. That's one of the things that I've appreciated about this. Going to the office, going to meetings in the evening, whatever I've been up to this week, this is all super simple to take with me, which just adds to the appeal. My wife is doing this the same week as me. We decided to go through this together. She works as a flight attendant, and she's been able to do this even though she's been on call. She's actually away today, possibly flying. So she made her soups last night on the stove, and then packaged them today in some Tupperware so she can reheat them if she gets called out on a 2 or 3 day trip, so she can still do today as day 5. So yeah, it's really convenient. You can see it's not too big, it wouldn't take up too much room. And in terms of taking up room, while we're on that subject, my tummy was a bit rumbly this morning when I first woke up. I am looking forward to the nut bar, which is breakfast, which will be within the next half an hour. So I'll sign off for now.
Alright, so here we go, lunchtime on day 5, and I'm very happy to say I have my favorites, which is the tomato soup on the go, and my absolute favorite, believe it or not, the kale crackers. So that's my summary, which my wife completely disagrees with, so we're going to talk to her in just a second. I'm feeling good today. I have a natural kind of energy coming to me, which I didn't expect for day 5. As I mentioned before, day 3 on a full fast was horrific, so I was thinking 4 and 5. On the ProLon diet, maybe a bit of a tragedy, but no, feeling good, and looking forward to seeing how I feel tomorrow when I'm adjusting back to a normal diet. But luckily they provide you with some instructions on how to do that, so I'll be following those. That's pretty much everything for now, but I'll check in one more time this evening. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a weigh-in tomorrow morning, so we get the full kind of before and after of how much weight I've lost, roughly how much body fat and that kind of thing. So I will check in then. So because day 5 is a Saturday, I have the luxury of wearing a hoodie and also having my wife film me and me film her. Hey baby.
Hi.
So how is the well, let me ask something more specific. How's the 5 days of being on ProLon kind of progressed for you in terms of how you're feeling?
Well, I signed up for the tips that they suggest, and I got those in my email, which is very useful. I think it gives you just those little extra bits of information to kind of make sure you feel like you're doing things correctly, and also to confirm what you're already feeling. So day one, like they talked about, you know, you're feeling good. You know, you're not really missing the food too much. It's an adjustment, but you feel like you're eating kind of consistently throughout the day, even if it's small portions. So felt good that day. 2 and 3, those were rough. Like they said, they were kind of brutal, and it didn't help that I had to work on day 2, and it was a long day. But something that's great about this product is that it's very easy to bring with you. I was able to pack it up. You know, it's very containable, and with the soups, you know, I just pre-cooked those, brought them with me, and heated them as I was out and about.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was very helpful. And day 4 was good. I was starting to feel that energy that they talk about. It was interesting because, as I mentioned to you, at nighttime I was actually feeling more awake, and I was kind of concerned because I was like, well, I can't fall asleep. But what I found that was interesting was that I did sleep well, and then when I woke up, I felt that natural energy. I didn't actually feel wiped out or tired. So even if I was feeling that energy at night, it transmitted into the morning as well.
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
There was a couple of nights where we both went to sleep a bit later than usual, but maybe got less hours, but felt better the following day. So, and I think that speaks to just reduction in food in general, just messing with cortisol, which I'm not the expert on, but I spoke of that in in one of the other videos. I have a quick question about the contents of your bottle.
Sure.
You seem to have done something different with your L drink.
I did. I did one of the suggestions because I do love hot tea, but seeing as to how we are in Arizona and it is like 100 degrees, I opted for the kind of cold brew style of my tea. So
Nice.
like they suggest that you can do once you've created your beverage, you can put as many tea bags as you want. I've had fun kind of combining flavors and different things. Right now I'm just doing the hibiscus, which is delicious.
Nice.
And I've got it with the orange L drink, so it's a nice combination. Good.
Awesome.
Good flavor.
Now tell me about the kale crackers.
The kale crackers.
Yeah, I don't want to fight with you, babe. I don't want to fight with you.
No. Okay, so shockingly, because I'm usually the one who likes this kind of stuff, it's funny because initial taste I did not particularly enjoy the kale crackers. However, I did find a way to enjoy them, which is that I crumpled them up and I put them in my tomato soup, and that was delicious.
Right.
It added a little bit of more substance to the soup, so it was kind of crunchy. I got that crunchy element, and just kind of altered the flavor enough where I was very happy with it.
Nice. That is pretty much everything I have for now. Maybe one thing is, without mentioning the company, what job is it that you do?
I am a flight attendant.
Okay, so busy life, on
out and
call,
about.
hectic.
Yeah. I
And
need to bring my food with me for like anywhere from 1 to 4 days. So
Yes.
this was ideal. This was very easy.
we were a bit concerned about that when we signed up for this, right?
Yeah.
But the way they package things up, the way you can reheat things, cook things, it's been pretty doable.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's pretty much it for now. So yay for day 5.
Yay!
What are you planning to do on day 6? The return to normality.
Yes. Going to try not to dive too quickly into, my old diet, which is what they suggest. They have some good
pizza
suggestions.
and ice cream.
I wish. No. No. I'm very happy with the results I'm getting, so I want to maintain that. Just figure out a combination that works for me, but kind of stick with the mentality that they have, sticking with fats and things like that. So, yeah, we'll see.
All right, my love. Thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure.
This is the weirdest lunchtime we've ever had.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right, we're signing off. Bye.
Okay, so here we are, the final meal on day 5. It is the I'm blanking. Minestrone?
Yep.
The minestrone. So we are here. Can I get you in?
Hi.
Both with our ProLon drinks, and I think it's safe to say we're feeling very proud, having made it through the 5 days, unless we freak out at the last minute and binge tonight, but I don't feel like we're going to. I think we're good.
I think we're good.
So, gonna enjoy the last bowl of soup. In a weird way, I'm gonna miss this because it's so convenient. Now I have to go back to planning what I'm gonna eat, but Yeah, and I will do one more check-in tomorrow morning with the weigh-in and the latest stats on that. Any final words from you, my dear?
No, this is just delicious. I'm gonna miss this too. It is very convenient, and yeah, took that extra thinking out of the process.
Right.
Love this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that probably sounds like we're being paid a lot of money to do this. But
No.
I'll have to provide an email address. They can email me and ask me. I don't know how that works. But yeah, it's been a great 5 days, and final stats to come tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, so it's the morning of the Sunday, so we finished the ProLon last night, and I'm just about to head down to the gym this morning, but I wanted to just check in and say I have noticed I haven't really looked at my body fat this week, because I find like that can put me off sometimes. So I'm just in my bathroom right now, and I'm pretty happy with it. There's definitely a reduction in body fat around the abs. We're kind of getting back down to that 9 or 10% range, and I feel like the upper body is not like wasting away. So when ProLon says it's muscle sparing, I wasn't convinced, just because it's super low calorie and there's hardly any protein. But yeah, I think looking at the results of the 5-day, I'm pretty happy with that. I am looking forward to upping the calories slightly and going back to lifting heavy. I didn't really do any of that over the last few days, but yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm going to go down to the gym now and do the weigh-in as well. Obviously, I've lost weight, but let's find out how much. Hey, so I just weighed myself in the gym, and I'm down to 150 pounds, just a touch over. So that's about 6 pounds lost in the 5 days. I did film that, so I'll put the footage here somehow, but I didn't want to be the one talking to my phone whilst weighing myself in the gym. It was very busy. So, good news, 6 pounds in 5 days. I do feel like a lot of that has been from body fat, which is good news. So around the belly, under the chest, a lot of that has been stripped away. So yeah, big thumbs up for ProLon on the fat loss. And the final question really is, does ProLon help you play basketball? So let's find out. Yes, it does.